Hey fam, what's going on? I don't even know if anyone's gonna watch this or not. And was talking about making one for like 2 weeks, and then life hits, right? So a lot of work, a lot of stuff, but a lot of kind of excitement last couple days, right? It's always nice. I never really watched the numbers or anything like that. I had somebody at work. I think it was Thursday afternoon. I was like, "Hey, you see what's going on with crypto?" And I was like, "Nope." And I looked and I just started laughing. I think I sent the message over to Will to be like, reminds me of like AMC Fridays or something like that, just when everything was going crazy. So, uh, you know, fun to watch when it does that. And the rest of the time, it's so boring. But I do hope everyone's doing well. I know one of my first videos, I said I was really going to look into LLCs, living trusts, doing things certain ways to protect yourself, and however you're looking to set up what it is you might be looking to set up. Best ways to do it. And I got to be honest, I just haven't had the time. It's summer. I have been working 12-hour days. I'm never home. But working more has given me opportunities to buy more. Especially before Thursday. I actually made a substantial purchase. I think it was Wednesday night. I was looking at a chart of one of the coins we've talked about, and looking at it, and I'm not into the whole charting. I just think it's going to do what it's going to do when the time's right. But right now, because it's just really retail playing around and goofing off with, I was looking and something told me, something looks like this is going to run a little bit. So I bought some, and sure enough, it started running, which is nice. So, anytime you can add 20% in a day, you're like, sweet. Regardless if it's $100 you threw in or $1,000 you threw in, take it and be like, that's cool. I'm not going to sell it, but it's nice to know. But, let's see, Clarity Act. I don't know about anyone else. I think everyone's kind of like, something seems weird this time around when they're going through all this stuff. And what I mean by that is, I don't know, something seems different this time with things moving. Obviously, Clarity did not pass. I didn't think it was going to. The whole Lindsey Graham thing, they had a bill out there to throw more sanctions on Russia, so that was a, uni-party agreement to get that done. But I do know, before they left for recess, that Majority Leader Thune did put that on so that it's discussed when they get back, which I think they get back September 15th. So you'll see, maybe the 16th or 18th might hear something. But this last week, with having all the crypto guys down at the White House, you have commodities out there, you have the SEC out there. Like, what a turn from the SEC from suing companies like Ripple to, oh, we want to work with you. Oh, it goes back to that saying, first they lie to you, and then, they sue you, and then they make laws about it, and then everyone takes it. So it's like, we were at that phase of them saying it was going to be nothing and the lawsuit, and now we're at it where they're going to make laws and people are going to use it, right? So, yeah, it's good to see. It's good to see. And I really do hope everyone's doing well. It's like you press record on these things, and then you just say, I guess just talk away, and, hopefully someone that's been in the family as long as I've been, just kind of like, somebody talking reassures you of everything you're thinking, or you see other people in videos or stuff Will puts out, and you're like, yep, I'm thinking that, and it just kind of reassures you. And I think, as people, sometimes we need that, whether it's from our spouses or it's from other people trying to lead their households and decisions, especially financial future decisions like this. So I know I do appreciate some of the guys that are putting content out there. But man, it's so boring. Last couple of weeks, it was so boring. It was just like, okay. Like, what are you going to do? What are you going to talk about? I like how Will gets into his, deep thoughts about stuff. And, that's great. I'm not at that place to do that. I just want to, like, hey, here's what we're talking about. Here's what's going on. I'm part of the family. I just want to let people know, like, I'm still in it. We're doing this. And, when you think of all the stuff that Lou had put out there and you read, and then when you actually researched it yourself and looked at it and you saw all these things that we're talking about, it's like, okay. And we started seeing some of this play out. And it's like, as time goes on, the more and more of those things that Lou talked about and the things you read about are now taking place. And it's like, good, good. I'm glad, I think I saw something that kind of rubbed me the wrong way on, I think it was X. I don't do the social media thing. But there's a picture of a bunch of these influencers from AMC and like all these, felons and criminals and people that, and some of them, they were on there, they had like Matt Kors and Trey, and they had Lou up there, and I think everyone that knew the story and still stuck around, had a moment of like, is this guy legit? But you just felt it in your heart that he was. And I think for me, it was the fugazi of the stock market and the making up of shit, printing whatever they want, throwing hey, I got yous, the Guatemalans, the Brazilians, whatever you wanted to call them. Really was like, I want nothing to do with it, Like, I'll buy stuff that pays me, derivatives, it's dividends and stuff like that, and I'll go down that rabbit hole and, have money earned on my money. But any of this other stuff or doing plays, why? Because right now you can create and do whatever you want. Why would I put my money in a game or a system like that? There's like SpaceX. Look at SpaceX. I don't even know what it is right now, but I know at the time it popped out at like 135, went to 150, went up to like 218 or 222. I think I looked at it last week and it was like 117. You know how many people I know that were like, oh, I'm going to get into it. Like, wait it out. Like, the game was right there. They told you. Come on. How many times do you get emails about a stock? I was getting like 2 or 3 emails a day about SpaceX stock. Like, they were looking for so much liquidity. And they got people. And, I feel bad for the people that weren't like, nope, I don't care what the price. I'm going to buy it and I'll hold on to it. And whatever happens in years, that's it. But there were other people that were like, hey, I'm going to try to make a quick buck. Or, oh, in 3 months, it's going to be $300 and I'll double my money and pull out. And, well, now they're 2/3 down, 2/3 of the whole, or they're down 66%. And now, they got a bill that just came up and it's like, oh, shit, I got to sell some of this because I need that money. That's how they get you. So, it's hard explaining. I don't know if anyone else has this. I have such a hard time either myself explaining it or people understanding crypto, blockchain technology, and what it actually means and does. Let alone, what was I going to say? Let alone tokenization, right? I got my phone sitting on a chair. I want to tokenize this chair for 50 cents, and I'll throw it on. Give me 10 each bars, and we'll sell a piece of the chair. But it's like, don't even have to go down that rabbit hole with people, which is a huge thing. But it's just the whole, like how banking works. It's, you put your money in a bank, right? Let's say that bank is worth, based on all the deposits, like $3.5 million. They have to have that money in the bank, as well as a secondary bank that has that exact amount. So if it's 3.5 here, there's 3.5 here. So I got my 2 here, and here's the middle person. I want to write a check from this bank account over to my buddy's bank. Well, his bank over here has to have the same thing. He's got to have the initial bank. I'm not talking branches, and just the bank itself, right? So if you got a mom and pop bank or credit unions, whatever, they got 6 branches and they're worth, based on deposits, say that there's $4 million. Well, $4 million sitting here, $4 million sitting here, and you write a little check. Here's the Harry Henderson. Here you go, buddy. Here's my check. They go to the bank, and everyone knows it 2-3 days, right? Because it goes from here to here. Do they have it? Oh, we have the money here to receive it. Okay, we have it here. That whole transaction system's 2 days. What bank in the world wouldn't switch it to do it in 5 to 8 seconds, or 5 to 15, or even a freaking minute? That same transaction that takes 2 days, where all that, you got 3.5, you got 7 million being tied up here, and you got 8 million being tied up here to do these transactions. That's 15 million sitting on the sidelines. Do it in a few seconds. Time is money. What bank is not going to want to see that? The problem the banks have is the fact that they're giving you your little 0.05% interest on the money they hold for you. How much are they going to hold for you if you're moving money that fast? They're not. They're not going to make shit. That's the easiest analogy I try to tell people. Like, hey, does your mom still send you a birthday card, right? Oh, she does, yeah. And she lives a couple states over, and she sends you a birthday card with a check. Happy birthday, Tommy. $20 from mom, like, right? Mom's in the nursing home, or mom's at the senior living, assisted living place, or, mom don't have a ton of money, so mom's sending $20. It is what it is. It's the gesture. It's nice. It's, what we all do, right? Well, like me, sometimes I get my mail. I might not see my mail for a day or two. Like when I have time, I'm working so much, so I get home and it's like, open the mail, it's like, oh, okay. Now I have to find time to either A, physically go to the bank, or hope that my bank has some type of mobile banking where I can take pictures, right? I have to take a picture to go to the bank for someone at the bank to review the picture, which takes a day, and then wait another 2 or 3 days for the transaction to go through. I look at it and I'm like, no way banks are going to do that. The banks are going to lose power. They don't want to lose power. No one wants to lose power when they're powerful. But that's where it comes back to the people, right? The way it used to be. I was talking to my son this weekend about, everyone wants to talk about the American Revolution and, the Boston Tea Party and the Stamp Act and this. You read the history books, and it was all about currency. Everything's about currency. So you have the colonies here in America creating their own banking and their own tokenization of how they're going to do deals. Hey, I want 3 cattle or 3 milking cows, and I'll give you half acre of corn, or whatever the deal is. I don't want the corn. let's come up with some type of hand, let's create something. And that's what they were doing. The whole point of the Stamp Act wasn't the tax. It was the fact that they said, we ain't going to accept your money. You can only do this in the pounds. You got to pay English pounds. It's almost the same thing going on right now. The big banks are saying, no, you got to do this always in dollars, and we need to have all the control. Well, no, you don't. And now you have two industries going at it, crypto, finance, and these big banks. And it's the same concept if you think about it. You know, and most people won't recognize it. It's like every time you take your card, boom, right? That's a technology right there. And up front, and on your bank, you go right into your bank, or you'll get the notification, your such and such card was charged to this. You see it. But behind the scenes, watch your bank for the next 3 days. Watch how long it takes for that to go from pending to posted. It's not automatic. So even though the technology in your face is showing you that, but behind the scenes, that's crypto. So, I don't know. Like I said, I figured I'd make a quick one. Say hi to everyone. Sorry if people were looking for me to be around, or liked a different input or a different style, or just, reassurance of, no, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm getting into. Like, that's all I want to be. I want to be that person to just reassure you. I like getting that every now and then, right? It's kind of like, as men, we go and we do these things and we just want to be appreciative. Like, hey, thanks for doing that. Or, hey, you did a good job there, right? Feels good. So, well, the decisions you made on this, in my opinion, you're doing good. Keep it up. Don't let up. And let's see what this week will bring. We could go down. Oh no. We go up. Haha. It's like, that's how I look at it. It's like, oh no. Haha. It's fun watching when it goes up. Like I said, when it does runs, when you're like 20, 30 cents in a day, and you're just like, ha. It's funny because it's like, what you got into, and now you're seeing it, and you're just like, ebbs and flows. It's just waves. We're just riding waves right now, and eventually this will all pay off. And I think we get antsy. And for me, I'll get a little personal here. I know for me, for when COVID came, I was still working. Like, I was out for the first 2 months. I think I had some medical stuff going on. My doctor kept me out. But for the most part, I was working. Essential services. So we were working, yada, yada, yada. And then COVID ended. All that old work that we were just maintaining, there were upgrades, there was work that needed to be done, all that got thrown on us. And I was just working a ton. So when inflation hit with Biden and all that, it was like, I wasn't feeling that. I was still living my life, and I still had money, I'm very blessed and grateful for that God put me in that position, in that moment. And we do a lot of donating and charity stuff around the holidays. We just did, this past Sunday, my church did like backpacks for kids, and like we grabbed like 4 of them, like filled them up for less fortunate kids with all school supplies that they needed, and added a little more. Here you go, right? Try to give back when you can. But the last couple months, I'm now feeling it. Like, and I cannot imagine people that aren't in my position. I can't imagine people that are really poor. So we cut back, some of the luxury stuff of, maybe it's getting pizza once a week. Hey, every other week, like, every bit helps. So I don't think I really experienced it. Now I am, and like, there's something coming, and I think people feel it. I have a good friend of mine that's trying to sell a house. Been on the market for 2.5 weeks. No offers yet. Gorgeous home, completely updated, lowballed the market figure, no offer. It's like people are holding on to wait for what's happening, what's to come. Also, it's a crappy time of year, right? We're coming up to Labor Day. Our states don't start until this week and next week with schools. So it's a tough period as well. But you're seeing it, and you can read headlines, and you can see things of people talking about it, where a lot of like homes that are being sold right now, they're like cash offers. You know, people don't want to go through financing. I believe the end of this week there was some lowering of rates. I think we're at like 6.6, I think, for a 30-year on average. So it's only down like 0.25% since last year. And you know they're going to go up. You know, living in the Northeast, I think last year it was like $2.40 a gallon of heating oil. It's over $5 now. I don't know how people are going to do it. I don't. But I don't know. It might just be me. But I think everybody that's in our shoes, in our little group that we have, it's like, there's something different about what's going on right now. And we'll see how this plays out. But we're good, right? Take care of your families. Take care of yourself. You're no good to your family if you don't take care of yourself. And, you know, I hope everyone has a blessed week this week. Whether you're on vacation or you're working or whatnot. Enjoy yourselves. You know, I wouldn't worry about anything till September or October. We have the Bitcoin thing, so it's like, you know, enjoy the rest of the summer. That's what I say. Enjoy the rest of the summer. Take care of yourselves. Prepare as much as you're preparing for down the ride with the benefits and reaping the rewards from what you're doing now. Make sure you're ready for what's coming this fall and what's coming this winter. You know, make sure you have enough food. Make sure you have things set up for what you need to get through this winter. And take care of yourself. Right? Guys, take care. God bless.